Eternal Ink is one of the most recognizable brands in the tattoo industry. I think a lot of that's because of our longevity. We've been around for quite a while, and we've managed to stay relevant and listen to the changes in tattooing while also sticking to the roots and ensuring that we're respecting the traditions.
Fast forward to today, there's a bunch of tattoo brands, there's a bunch of ink brands, and I feel like people in the tattoo industry, they just don't really know the stories of certain people. And there's very few people that are actual tattoo artists that own a brand, but there's even fewer people that are tattoo artists that are rich in history, such as yourself.
I don't know if anybody can meet Tramp for the first time and not be like, whoa, that dude's scary.
Terry's, he's kind of got a rough exterior when you meet him, especially back in the day. He's straightforward, straight to the point, but his word is gold.
He's had more influence on more people than anybody I know. And I tell him this on a fairly regular basis, how amazing it's been to watch his transformation as one shop owner to an individual who has created really an empire. He's a man of few words at times.
My name's Tramp Welker. I'm here at our warehouse in Brighton for the Eternal Ink Company. And the founder of Eternal Inks, basically grew up in Detroit. When I turned 18, I wanted to join the Marine Corps. So as soon as I turned 18, I went down, talked to the recruiter, signed up. Next thing I knew, I was in boot camp getting all my hair cut off. Got sent to Nam. I got in Vietnam in May of '69, attached to the 1st Marine Division, 3rd Battalion, 11th Marines. Ended up doing a little over a year in Vietnam, came back, got down to Texas, and then I started, ran into a motorcycle club, ended up joining it. Things got a little crazy and ended up getting in some trouble. Came back to Michigan, got in more trouble. And the next thing I know, I'm in Jackson prison. Got in so much trouble that they had to stop me. Anyway, I ended up doing a few years there, but while I was there, I started seeing these guys tattooing with these homemade prison machines, taking alarm clock, taking them apart. I built my first prison homemade, well, home because I was living there, but had the opportunity to tattoo as many people as I wanted. Doing my time, got out, going back to being a carpenter instead of a mechanic. While I was there, I ran into another guy that I knew, Crazy George, and he owned a tattoo shop. It was a tattoo motorcycle shop called Crazy Kids Eternal Tattoos. And I started tattooing out of that shop, cutting the stencils, the acetate, the old school way to do it, making needles. Back then it was pretty basic. It was pretty much traditional tattooing is what I was doing and what I stayed with my whole career. George, the owner of Crazy Kids, he had other things going on. I said, hey man, why don't you sell me this shop? He said, well, what will you give me for it? And I said, well, I'll make it easy. I'll give you nothing because I don't have anything to give you, so I'll make payments and I'll give you $1,000. And he took it. So. In 1980, I started opening more locations, and in the end, I had 5 different locations for Eternal Tattoos. I had some of the best artists, Tom Renshaw, Jay Wheeler, Marshall Bennett, Bob Terrell.
He's got a good eye for talent because he had some of the best artists in the world come through his shop. That's what started his legacy, I think. And his Eternal's really well known. That's how I knew him when I lived in New York from magazines. I said, these guys, something in the water up there in Michigan.
So opening up another tattoo shop and doing tattoo conventions when we were in Dallas, we met somebody that was trying to make their own ink, but there were problems with the consistency of the ink. Terry knew how to make ink. He had been making ink for years. So we brought it back to Michigan.
At this time, he expanded out to multiple locations. I remember going out there to see him one time, and there he was. You know, they had Home Depot buckets, you know, like mixing around. They had a power drill, you know, they're mixing stuff up, and I knew something was coming. I didn't know exactly what, but something was coming.
I was making ink for me and my artists, but I started Eternal Ink. So about 2004, and it just kind of exploded with people wanting my inks, and people say, what was different with your inks? Being an artist, I knew the consistency of what an artist would want, what they get the inks into the skin without butchering the skin, having that consistency match the next time I made a new batch of colors, matching my colors. I started doing what a convention was my way of advertising, promoting my inks. I started doing every convention we could possibly do. I had a guy working for me. I would send him to the conventions. If I liked the artist, I'd tell him to put a check by their name. He'd say, what do we want me to do with this? I said, well, take them all to sample set. Give them a sample set. If they like it, they tell the other artists they like it. If they don't like it, they give me a call to them what they don't like about it.
But he was really good about listening to his artists, about what they thought about the product, which is probably what makes it a lot better.
Sure, talk a little bit about Eternal Ink and why I enjoy them so much. Pretty true to the bottle, for the color in the bottle. And what you see is basically what you get.
I like Eternal because there's like a wider variety of palette.
Eternal Ink's slogan is brightest colors, period. And in my opinion, they actually are.
So we had the conventions to work off of, and I ended up with 31 colors.
From there, we increased to 48 colors. And then we added on another building. The business boomed from there. Where we're at now in Brighton, and we have over 40,000 square feet. We have probably 300 colors.
When I got this, I said, man, what are we going to do with all this room? I'm going to put a bowling alley in here, man. We just kept growing. We were growing so fast, we had to add on.
We do everything with the brand right here in Brighton, Michigan. We mix the ink, we pour the ink into the bottles, everything's labeled here. Anyone you talk to when you call customer service is right here and can help you out from inside the building. We package everything up, send it out to distributors. Really anything in the entire process from the time that bottle is made and shipped out is all done right here. The people here are genuinely passionate both about the ink itself and about the tattoo industry. I think Tramp really set the tone here that particularly the core group really has to care about everything they're doing and that we're making a product that we truly can stand behind.
My name is Gabriel Lasher. I am a pigment mixologist. I've been with Eternal for about 8 years now. Happened to find Eternal Tattoo Supply online, applied for the job, and I spoke to my dad, who's a tattoo artist. Hey, I just got a new job in this industry. He goes, you're with Eternal? I had never heard of the brand before, but it turns out they're one of the biggest in the world. I had started pulling ink off of the production line, just putting it into boxes. Eventually, one of the people running our ink pouring machines was retiring. I was asked, hey, do you want to move from boxing to actually pouring the ink? And of course, I took that opportunity. I took over the reins, eventually taking on pigment mixologist as my title. I think one of my personal favorite experiences working at Eternal and getting involved in the production process has been at multiple stages, whether I was pouring or moving on to mixing, I was able to almost put together a care package of tattoo supplies, ink that I'd put my work into, bring that to my dad, and then have him do his work to put that ink into me on a physical level. Pretty much everything that I've gotten done, I have a sleeve, these evolving colors that I mixed up, packaged up, brought to my dad, taking that inspiration, developing new ideas from it, keeping that core inspiration and knowledge of tattooing as an art, as a form of expression, a form of individualism, tying that into making sure that, okay, if you're going to be expressing yourself, it needs to be the best quality. And you can only have a quality end result if you're working with quality materials from the start.
I'm Michelle Kaslei, and I'm the website merchandising executive at Eternal Ink, and I've been here for 20 years. So I started in 2005 as a receptionist at the shops, and I worked a couple days a week. I did that for several years while going to school at the same time. Later on in 2014, I asked Tramp to come out here to work full-time, like a 9 to 5. I came out here and I started working on the phone sales. And I pulled, packed, shipped orders, I labeled bottles, I did a little bit of everything. I started working with our sponsored artists pretty regularly, and then I gradually moved up into doing the website work that I do now. So I run the e-commerce for Eternal Tattoo Supply as well as the other websites that we own. I love the industry. I love the people that I work with. It's really great. Every day is different. It's such a unique industry. It's so niche. You're working with artists on a daily basis. You're getting to see what they can produce. You're getting to see the products that you sit here and make, and then see them out in the real world. It's like the closest I can be to being an artist without being an artist. So I really do enjoy it.
My name is Dan Wallace. I'm the brand manager of Eternal Inc., and I've been with the company for around 9 years. So I started with Eternal. I was looking for a job that would allow me to travel and get around. My best friend had been working here for about a year by that point, and luckily they had an opening for the convention team. I started doing conventions as a sales rep from the time I started in 2016 until 2020. Ended up leading the customer service department for a while. Transitioned out of that and then took over all of our social media and trade shows, so I was leading that up until I became brand manager. Primarily as brand manager, my job is to make sure that we're getting the artist what they're asking for, be able to listen to the concerns, listen to the wants, listen to the needs, and make sure that we're fulfilling that. The artists are the reason that we're here. I mean, we don't exist without tattoo artists. We're founded by a tattoo artist. And the best way we can do our job in this industry is making sure we're always listening and figuring out exactly what people need.
I'm Josh Stroh, General Manager of Eternal Inc., and I've been here about 4 years. It's like I've always been into art and drawing and illustration and stuff, so kind of went hand in hand. I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but at the time, after getting out the street stuff that I was affiliated in, work was kind of like my escape. And then with the hours I had to work in automotive, I didn't have the time to go apprentice. So when I got this opportunity to come here, I was like, oh, dope. I'm still gonna be in the industry. It took a long time before I actually got tattooed. I didn't get tattooed till I was like 17, 18. You know what I mean? And it was at one of Tramp's locations. Like I even had my homies hit me, I was like, man, you willed this to happen, right? And I'm like, nah, man, it just came together. So as general manager of Eternal, being involved in everything, like the day-to-day, time I come in, it's, where's the team at? What do they need? What do they got going on? And then all the way to like ordering the raw materials. Like some of the raw materials I personally order just to make sure that everybody out there can do what they need to do. So I'm kind of just trying to be the glue that helps, keep things together, even though it's all built off them. Like they're the ones that hold it together, but just trying to be that support, for the squad.
We have so many different colors, over 300, and so when we try to do new sets with artists, we want to make sure that we're picking colors that are holes that we have in our line.
At the beginning, you're looking at your primaries, a few secondaries. Now we're getting to the point where we're coming up with completely unique colors. So we'll all get together along with our ink mixer and start to identify those specific gaps and bring in Liz Cook, who does a lot of our research and development for us. She's a whiz with color theory and has been tattooing for a long time herself, has a really long relationship with Eternal.
Hey, Liz Cook here, and I'm at the Motor City Tattoo Expo. So I'm actually doing a rose and watch tattoo today with some wings. Definitely using all Eternal ink. Really love their stuff. Been using it for a really long time.
Anytime that you get to see behind the scenes and understand the step-by-step process of something that you didn't know about before, and to be able to step back on the other side of the curtain and see where little bits of magic happen every single day in multiple different areas of the whole process, and to be a part of something so much bigger and getting to contribute to that, that's magical in itself.
For the new colors and what we come up with, it's either working with the artist and they have a set idea that they have, right? And then they work with Liz to see where that fits in without being too close to another color on the color wheel. or it's a hole in the color wheel that she sees or one of us see, or oh, that's a dope color. What if we did an ink like that? After we go through all that and we can match that color, then we'll mix a small batch and mixing, send it through our pouring department. We send it off to sterility. We come back and then we send it out to artists to get tested. After we get feedback, we know it's a color that goes in the skin. We know its workability. We know how everybody feels about it, how it heals in different skin tones. Then we'll go into mass production, name it and send it out the door. Artists, when they buy Eternal Ink, it needs to be the same as it was before. They can't sit there and, oh, it's thicker, it's thinner, it's not going in the skin as easy, I gotta go over 10 more times. It's gotta be consistent. That way they can do what they do and get it done, get their client out the door. If they gotta sit there and mess with the ink for 20, 30 minutes trying to figure out why it's not going in someone's skin. Another piece with that is everybody's skin is different, so you already have that variable, right? So you wanna kind of limit the variables. And on the tool side, their tools need to be the same every time. It'd be like buying a Craftsman's wrench, but every time you use it, it's a different size. Not 8mm is 8mm, dog. You know what I mean? I would say we probably have the closest consistency batch to batch than any other company that we've seen. And now, especially with the FDA coming in, now we can ensure everybody's up to a certain standard. We're already there. We're ISO certified 9001. We did the cosmetic GMP certification, all that. So we're, as far as a standardized manufacturer, like, we're there. And the cool thing was the team was already there, but now it's just we documented the process, we got the right equipment, and now it's solid and wrapped up.
Well, I always answer my phone. That's one thing, man. If my phone rings, I answer, take the call. Like I said, doing the conventions, being in the industry, I've been in the industry for 45 years. Made a lot of contacts, man. Made a lot of friends. Most of my business was built on my relationship with the artists. They call me, hey Tramp, I need this, I need that. Take care of them, man. Get that, whatever they needed.
From the very beginning, Tramp has always made sure that he is discussing these things with artists, that he's taking care of people, that he's supporting the industry, whether that means we're attending shows, whether that means we're supporting a shop in a time of need. It's really that we care and that we're making a product that we truly can stand behind.
I mean, it was built off of hard work, right? I mean, Tramp and what he did from the ground up, it's built off of hard work. So we're not going to sit here and try to be the hype beast company with the flashy label, like, oh, look at this, this is what you need. No, this works. And everybody can use this, from the person that's just learning the apprentice to your high caliber tattooer. It's just a versatile ink everybody can use. There's no special gimmick to it. It's not, oh, this has this, so it can only be used by this kind of tattooer. No, it's an ink that can be used by all tattooers.